All right, 2 weeks from today, California voters are going to decide on a ballot measure aimed at transforming the state's mental health system and addressing the homeless crisis.
However, while some Californians support the initiative, others believe it may do more harm than good. And joining us now with why San Diegans should vote no to Prop 1 is VP of Communications for the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, Susan Shelley. Susan, thanks for joining us here in the Fox 5 studios. We appreciate you. Talk about what Prop 1 is exactly and how does it aim to address homelessness?
Well, Proposition 1 is a statewide ballot measure. It's on everybody's ballot in California. It's a $6.38 billion bond, which means borrowed money. And when it's paid back, it'll cost as much as $12 billion. And what it buys is treatment beds, facilities that will provide treatment for mental health and substance use disorder, and also housing units. However, $12 billion with interest, it only buys 11,000 beds. And some of those are in housing, which is under the Housing First model under state law, which means that no one who's in those beds can be required to be in treatment. So it's a little bit of a bait and switch. They're saying it's all for treatment, but $2 billion goes for housing. That's more like Project Home Key, where the services are down the hall and it's all optional.
So those who are against it, it's not that you're against the ideas that are presented here, but is it about the use of money and the value of the money?
It's about the use of the bond money. It's going, $4.4 billion is going for unspecified treatment places that the state will decide later. So it's a blank check. And bond money really shouldn't be a blank check. It should be for specific projects. But the worst part is it diverts money from the counties for mental health services that they are currently providing. It doubles the state's take from the so-called millionaire's tax, which is a 1% tax on high incomes, to fund mental health services. It doubles the state's take from that money from 5% to 10%, and then it requires the counties to divert 30% away from services into housing programs, and they lose the federal matching funds. So it's really devastating. And what's going to happen to those programs? What's going to happen to those people who depend on those programs?
I mean, that's the question. What will happen with the homeless programs that are here in this state?
Exactly. And it's very likely that if this passes, there will be tax increases proposed right down the road, right in November, because the counties are going to need more money since they're having to divert the money under Proposition 1.
So let's talk about who's behind this, who supports it, who's against it, and if you were in charge, Governor, what would you do differently? How would you propose this idea differently? Obviously, homelessness and mental health are an issue that affects all of California.
Absolutely, but we are going down the wrong path, and borrowing money to go further down the wrong path doesn't get us on the right path. So I think what's necessary, if you were asking me, is to build emergency and long-term shelters to get people off the street right now, because it's not safe for them, for anybody, to have people living in tents on the sidewalk. That's terrible. That's appalling. And then you only lock them up when they commit a crime against someone else. Then they're under lock and key receiving mental health services in jail. That's no solution. So the other part of it is to build hospitals where people can receive appropriate medical care, because some people need medical care and they should be patients, not tenants. And the other part is to repeal the Housing First law, which is from 2016. It's, I believe, SB 1380. It requires that when people are placed in government-paid housing, they cannot be required to be sober or to be in a treatment program or have any requirements or conditions at all. Well, there's a limited amount of housing, so who is it awarded to? Wouldn't it be better to let people award it to individuals who are ready to get well and who will be able to get their lives together with that housing, rather than have people who are still using hard drugs given taxpayer-funded housing?
Given some of these proposals, these ideas, do you know the numbers? Like, what would it cost to do that, to build the hospitals, to build the emergency shelters, and to have those requirements you're talking about?
Well, there is funding for the hospitals if we ask the federal government for a waiver. Currently, you cannot get federal matching funds under federal law for any mental health care provided in a facility with more than 16 beds. So this sort of thing, Proposition 1, builds a lot of different places with no more than 16 beds. Well, that's not cost effective. That's not the right kind of care for everyone. That's community care. It will work for some people, but it won't necessarily work for people who are really desperately, gravely mentally ill.
So people are basically, taxpayers are on the hook for this $6 billion in bond money, and really it's the interest.
The interest doubles the cost of building anything. When you build something with bond money, that is the most expensive way to do anything in California. So you want to see that they're using bond money for something that's going to last for 30 years, like a dam or a road or a bridge, that's a good use of bond money, a school. But to build something that's going to require ongoing expense to operate, that's not such a great use of bond money, because where's the rest of the money going to come from?
So the idea is not that what they're doing is specifically wrong as far as trying to solve this problem. It's more the use of the money
Right.
from your perspective. Susan, thank you so much for the insight.